Pisces, this is your tarot reading for the month of November. Just first look at it. I can't say to you that it looks happy. It doesn't necessarily look unhappy either. I think you're going to be challenged. There's a lot of challenges going on at the moment, so I'm not getting over excited by it, but the overall energy is one of betrayal, and I know you're shouting out, oh, not more betrayal, please. In the past, I think things were better. You were nurturing, full of love, understanding of yourself and others, wanting the best for yourself and everybody. And now, relationships are very much to the fore. So is this about relationships? It could be. It's not necessarily loved ones. The rendering of this card, I always think of indicating a ménage à trois. I'm not necessarily saying that's happening, but it's suggestive of that. Maybe a new love comes in the future. There's certainly love there. It's often associated with a new love. Could simply be partnership, but I'm feeling it is about love. In fact, it is, isn't it? Yeah, you've got the bit between your teeth. You've got a marvellous sense of direction, and I can't help but feel it's the wrong sense of direction, and I think it's related to love. I think it's related to who you love. You could avoid some of the pain by going inside yourself and looking for answers, by rejecting the trajectory that you're on and trying to find a new one with inside yourself, because if you don't, this month is going to leave you heartbroken. Because we've got this new love in the future, maybe it doesn't last. So let's not get too excited by these energies, but let's talk about them, eh? One of the things that really alerted me to the fact that this may be not a great spread for you is this central card, which, sorry, the light's bouncing off it on the main spread, but it's actually the Seven of Swords, which is a energy of deception. And you're probably saying, well, there's so much deception. We've had enough of deception, and we all have, haven't we? When are people going to hold their hands up and say, yes, we deceived you, I'm sorry? Sorry might even be enough for many of us. I'm not certain we want to see everybody go to prison for the major deceptions that have been carried out against the public. But, we have had enough. And it's like, for goodness sake, will you stop? Will you stop doing it? Just stop it, for goodness. And I think we all feel like that, don't we? So yeah, this runs throughout it. There's no doubt that the past were happier times, I think, for all of us. For you, certainly, it was a time of indulgence, a time of nurturing others, a time of sharing with others, a time of knowing what you wanted, understanding your psychology and those of others. Maybe a time of being at home with nature, the Earth Mother type. A time of your own power. It was a soft power, but it was a wonderful power. A time when you could see through these deceptions, but maybe they didn't upset you as much as they are now. Yeah, there were better times in the past, weren't there? Now we have the energy of friendship. It's sort of an energy of friendship for the sake of friendship. That friendship alone is enough. There doesn't have to be a purpose for this friendship. You look at the rendering and there is a suggestion of a menage a trois on this particular rendering. Should I read that into it? Should I read a purpose? Do you know, I think this energy is much more about friendship for the sake of it. There doesn't have to be a reason for friendship. But remember, we've got this deception here. Is it a friend that deceives you? I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not at all sure. Now in the future, so after this month probably, we have what looks to be a new love. Doesn't have to be new and it doesn't have to be love, so what's it about? Well, it looks to be a new love. Whatever it is, it's divine. It could be a partnership, you see. And it could be an old love getting stronger. But it feels wonderful. It feels divine. It feels like, when you look at the rendering, it's sort of yin and yang, isn't it? You complement each other wonderfully. This gives me great hope because, as I say, this month doesn't look brilliant for you, but to find that something wonderful happens after it says, well, it's just a month you've got to get through, if you see what I mean. It's a, I won't call it a blip, but it's a challenging month for you. But once you're over it, you'll look back at it and think, oh, well, it's over now. Well, you've certainly got the bit between your teeth. You've got a sense of direction, you've got a sense of balance, you've got a sense of urgency. I think it's to do with love. Maybe it's simply to do with friendships. No, I think it is love. I think we are talking of love here. I think you do get betrayed by someone you love. You're throwing yourself into this love. I mean, as I say, it could be friendship, but you're throwing yourself into it, but you got it all wrong. I'm sure you've got it all wrong. You know, this is normally a great energy to have, a wonderful energy to have, but if you're going in the wrong direction, you're going quickly in the wrong direction, which is entirely the wrong thing to be doing, isn't it? Yeah. Oh dear. Now, the way to avoid some of the pain of this month is, instead of rushing into things, take some time out. Go inside your head and think about things a little bit more. Because there is pain here. There is pain. This is not a great month for you in terms of your emotions. But you know, if only you'd thought things through and looked inside your heart, I think you'd have realised all this. You'd have realised all that was wrong. Because you are heading in the wrong direction. You're being deceived by somebody, and I'm pretty certain it's somebody that you love. And somewhere in your subconscious, you know that. And it can be uncovered. If only you knew the way to unlock it. Yeah. The information is there for you. Now, of course, I read my tarot as though it's fortune telling, and it isn't. I'm simply tapping into energies, but it's easier to do it by telling a story than it is by simply talking about the sort of psychological impacts of these energies will have on you. And, you know, yeah, you are betrayed by someone you love. This is the energy that's coming through. And what would be your reaction to that? Well, a broken heart, of course. So the outcome to this set of energies is a broken heart. Now, I often say with these broken hearts that they don't necessarily last, and I really don't think yours lasts. Yeah, you know, when it happens, you'll be, oh my God, why has this happened? What's going on? but ultimately you get over it because there is a new love in the future. So I'm not particularly concerned about it. But what I am going to do is I'm going to get some clarification on this broken heart itself. So, I said I was going to seek clarification on the broken heart, and I'm not. I'm going to seek clarification on the betrayal. What are you betrayed about? Well, the first clarification is the Two of Pentacles. Struggling a bit, maybe struggling with work-life balance. The next card of clarification is the High Priestess. Understanding your psychology and those of others. And the final card is the Two of Wands, isn't it? Yeah, Two of Wands. Important decisions to make. Gosh, this has taken a twist. I'm not certain I understand it. So let's look at each individually. Good heavens, I think I've got an explanation for it. Remember, we're clarifying this deception. And I think it's you're being deceived by somebody that you love. So being deceived in a loving relationship. And you're finding the relationship a bit of a struggle. You're finding it difficult. Now, loving relationships should never be difficult. So why is this loving relationship difficult? Well, it's because you're being deceived. Now, who would deceive you in love and make a relationship more difficult than it has to be? A narcissist. Yes, you've fallen in love with a narcissist. They're deliberately making things difficult for you. You're struggling to keep this relationship going. You're struggling when they're putting every obstacle in your way because that's what they enjoy doing. How are they making it so difficult for you? How can they do it? It's because they've got inside your head. They know what it is that motivates you. They know what it is that upsets you. And they're doing it on purpose. That's what they live for, to upset you. Now, I know when you first met them, everything was perfect. And that was also the game. At first, they love-bombed you so that you completely bought it. And now they're turning on you. Now it's becoming vicious. Now it's becoming a struggle. And they can do it because they understand you. They really understand you. In fact, they live through you because they don't have a personality of their own. You could understand this as well. You could. If you took the time, you'd see through it. Yeah. But you're so busy trying to make things work. And this is the point of the Hermit. If only you went inside your head, you'd realise what a fool you're being. Yes, it's all coming out now, yeah. And you've been fooled that you have a choice in this matter, that you've got an important decision to make. There is no decision to make. When you're in a relationship with a narcissist, the only thing you must do is get out and have nothing more to do with them. That's the only way to behave with them. But you think, well, if only I did this, or even when the penny drops that they're a narcissist, you think, well, maybe I can hurt them as much as they've hurt me, And it's just all fodder for the narcissist. No, you have to get out and go no contact. Oh dear, this hasn't taken the turn I was expecting, but I can summarise for you. Sorry, Pisces. Pisces, there's no easy way to say this. You're in a relationship, abusive relationship with a narcissist. How did you attract them? Well, you were full of love, full of nurturing. You were sending out very positive vibes. And yes, that does attract positive people, but it also attracts negative people. Maybe you even had a choice in this. Maybe there was another person that you were attracted to and you chose the wrong one. Maybe that's what happened. And you threw yourself in with this one because they were love bombing you. They were giving you all the right signals at first, and you threw yourself feet first into this relationship, and they're absolutely playing with you. The relationship has become so difficult. It started off so beautifully, but it's become so difficult now, and you can't understand why it's a struggle, because if you love someone, surely the relationship shouldn't be a struggle. Why is it a struggle? Well, they've got inside your head. They know what makes you tick, and they're using that against you. They're using that against you, so they're making everything in your life this terrible, terrible struggle. And the only thing you can do when you're in a relationship, you think you've got choice, you think you can stay in it and try and change them and try and do this, no, you can't. All you can do is get out and go no contact. That's all you can possibly do. And whatever way, whether you go no contact or you stay in it, your little heart is going to be broken. I've got some good news for you. I've got two bits of good news for you. The first is that I think you find somebody else. I mean, it could be, if you remember, I thought there was another person before when you had a choice. But you do meet another love, and this is a wonderful divine love. And that happens after this month. So you do get over this broken heart, whatever. But all this could have been avoided, because deep down in your subconscious, there was something wrong with this person. But you weren't truly listening to your heart. You were listening to their love bombing. They were just simply mirroring you, and you liked that too much. But deep down, you would have found that this wasn't the right thing to do.